All right, so today we're going to be talking EDB, everyday bike. This is the bike that I find myself most riding out of the rotation of bikes that I have. While we talk about this, I want you to comment below what bikes you have, if you have more than one, what you find yourself gravitating towards and why. Now this is the Tenways AGOX, and I've got a number of reasons why I believe that this is one of my favorite bikes in my entire lineup. With that being said, let's talk a little bit more about the specs and get into it. The AGOX retails for $19.99 and comes in Starlight Silver, which I'm riding here today, Ocean Blue, and Midnight Black. It comes in size large for riders between 5'5" and 6'3", and extra large for riders between 6'3" and taller. I'm 6 foot tall and I'm riding size large. The frame is made out of 6061 aluminum alloy. The fork is also made out of aluminum alloy and is the SR Sun Tour lockout fork with 80 millimeters of travel. Now the overall weight of this bike is 64 pounds with a maximum payload weight of 350 pounds, while the rear rack has a maximum payload weight of 55 pounds. The wheels are 29-inch with CSD puncture-proof tires on 6061 aluminum alloy rims. The handlebars are a nice comfortable flat bar with 4 degrees back sweep, 34 inches wide with an LCD color display, controls, foam grips, Shimano shifters, and hydraulic brakes front and rear. Now with the big wheels and a nice wide bar, the ergonomics of this bike feel absolutely amazing. Next is the drivetrain. The drivetrain is a 10-speed Shimano Dior system with an integrated torque sensor for the 250-watt Bafang M410 mid-drive motor that puts out 80 Nm of torque. Now last but not least, the battery. The battery powering the AGOX that gives you a top speed of 20 miles per hour and a max range of 62 miles is only a 36-volt 14 amp hour battery pack. That's a little battery packing a powerful punch.
Now usually when you hear smaller battery, you don't think punchy output. But for me, it checks off a lot of the boxes when I want the bike to be a bit lighter while also having the torque when I need it. Now, if I was on a bike with bigger tires or went off-road more, I think I would want something more along the lines of a 48-volt 20 amp hour battery pack. Now, realistically, I get about 45 miles of range when I'm in pedal assist level 5, traveling about 20 miles per hour. But for me, it all comes back to weight and how easy this bike is to ride when the bike is powered off, for those moments that maybe this bike doesn't have enough juice to be able to get me to my destination. Now, for those moments that I don't necessarily want to ride a fat-tired electric bike or a knobby tired electric bike, because I like to ride on all surfaces, this basically checks off all the boxes in my opinion. I got the front suspension, it's comfortable enough to ride on trails like this so I can go on and off road, while also being able to lock up the suspension, getting on a paved trail, picking up some speed and getting to my destination in a timely fashion. With that being said, this is one of my favorite bikes for 2 of those reasons there. Now let's talk about my favorite piece of this bike, the torque sensor. Now the torque sensor is the main reason why I keep this bike in my lineup. Actually, that and the fact that it's a mid-drive motor and it has no throttle, so it basically rides like a traditional bike, but you're really getting somewhere fast. Now if you don't know the difference between a torque and a cadence sensor, a torque sensor is in the bottom bracket, and every bit of effort and energy you're putting into the bottom bracket, as in pressure down on it, the sensor feels it and you're getting rewarded with power. Now a cadence sensor, you can find yourself kind of just ghost pedaling, which can be fun in some cases, but really not conducive to your health. I mean, if you're just kind of moving your feet around, basically the bike is just doing all the work. Now, I love the fact that this bike doesn't have a throttle. There are bikes out there with torque sensors that do have throttles, but I like the fact that this bike rides like a traditional bike, gets me from point A to point B, gets me that workout, while also covering a lot of ground quickly. Now, speaking of covering a lot of ground quickly, this bike has a range of 60 miles and a top speed of 20 miles per hour. Now, the top speed is predicated to the power output from the torque sensor. It's not to say you can't put more effort in and go faster than 20 miles per hour, but that's the limit of the power that it's able to output to you. With that being said, so like if I start to pedal harder, I'm able to go over 20 miles per hour and still have that power at my disposal if I start to slow down. Like we talked about the difference between a torque and a cadence sensor, you can't ghost pedal with this. If I start to just slowly move my feet, the power cuts out. And eventually I would come to a stop if I just started to just keep doing this all the way to the end. Right now I put the effort in, the power is right there. I'm able to get somewhere in a timely fashion. With that being said, 60 miles of range, top speed 20 miles per hour, torque sensor is awesome. 29-inch wheels really makes me feel like I'm covering a lot of ground. Really sleek, no throttle. This is a bike I like to keep in my rotation. There are other bikes I have in my rotation as well. If you guys want me to make another video of some other bikes and why I have them in my rotation, comment below, I'll definitely make that. I also want to know what bikes you guys are riding, so definitely let me know in the comment section below. Love to chat with you guys about that. If you're interested in the AGOX or any other Tenways product, link in the description below. If you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.